match goes down!
All right, and we are back.
Yeah, we are back, and both teams are ready, as my understanding is. So I'm going to be queuing them up right away here. We will be jumping into the losers bracket. First round, actually, I believe. Still the first round of the losers bracket for these two teams. Whichever team loses, obviously, is out of the tournament, so not a situation you want to be in. And they are going to get queued up here, so hopefully they are ready, and we can jump right into the action on the Grand Arena to start this off. It is going to be the team of Say GG Please, Wizardo on Shadow Priest, Trees on Resto Druid, Rainy on the Frost Mage, and of course, Blind This All, the Jungle Cleave, Macrosina playing Holy Paladin, Ludix playing on that Survival Hunter, and Fritteris playing on the Feral Druid.
Yep. Jungle Cleave versus Shatterplay. Like I was saying, I was expecting this match, or I am expecting this match to be a little bit more laid back than some of the matches we've seen very recently. But we'll have to see how it ends up turning out here. It's definitely something that, especially, I feel like the Jungle Cleave can just do a whole lot of pressure and keep that constant pressure up to the point that it may be. I guess the Shatterplay really can as well too. So I'm honestly not sure. We're gonna have to see how this match goes.
It's more of an arms race. How many outs does the Paladin have for CC, and how many defensives does Trees have to live? Because I really feel like they're going to be on Trees for most of this game.
Yeah, for sure.
But Crow's actually being used onto Wizardo, the Black Arrow as well. They're going to be opening onto him with a Hodge onto Trees and a full trap out. Wizardo choosing to not choosing to trinket, sorry, the stun does end. He's got full bleeds on him though. Trees choosing to trinket that full trap though. He's going to have full hots onto Wizardo. He should be okay for now, but he's taking an incredible amount of damage. Rainy spamming a lot of polys onto Ludix, trying to peel that, but he's dipping to about half HP. Scatter onto Trees. Wizardo's definitely dipping low here. He might have to disperse a Wyvern Sting onto Trees. It's going to break though, unfortunately. I'm not sure what broke that exactly. Wizardo's dipping though incredibly low, 200,000 HP. Rainy's trying to turn it around though. He's doing a lot of damage to Ludix. Macrosina is going to Aura Mastery out of the silence there, pick his Hunter back up. Wizardo, though, has the Black Arrow on him. I really feel like Trees needs to dispel that. Trees choosing to use that Heart of the Wild. He's going to block the Paladin Fear. Trees, that is, so he's going to be able to pick Wizardo up.
Yeah, Macrosina in a full poly over there, which is going to slow things down tremendously for the now into a clone. But looks like he's able to get out of that. Used his trinket there actually to break that Cyclone. Now into a full fear. So Ludix actually taking a bunch of damage and might be in trouble here. I don't believe he's used a deterrence yet, so he should have both of those still available. But it doesn't look like he's going to need them. He's going in full offensive here. There's the Deep Freeze onto him, down to a Ring of Frost as well. He's going to be able to avoid that Ring of Frost. Wizardo now taking a whole bunch of damage. Trees in a Hammer of Justice. Wizardo in a lot of trouble right now. Doesn't look like oh my god, there's the dispersion at the last possible second. He went down to like 30k health there. Very, very dangerous to hold on to it for that long. Like one crit and it ultimately didn't matter. Down he goes, was not able to get topped off through that dispersion, and that's it for Say GG Please, at least for this match.
Yeah. The CC chain was broken up a bit. Wizardo did manage to eat the trap near the end. However, it didn't necessarily matter. Ludix using the Wyvern Sting out of that, and Fritteris able to land that Cyclone. It wasn't interrupted. It really needed to be interrupted. That Cyclone is what secured the kill out of the dispersion. So I think a little bit of more communication maybe between the team to interrupt that crowd control, because Trees is getting locked down a lot. And Fritteris had Incarnation up. He had every cooldown up, and Wizardo kind of didn't respect that, and he dispersed a little bit too late, in my opinion. So let's see if they can maybe clean it up a little bit, because I think they've got the pressure. They're getting the crowd control out. They're able to turn it around. So hopefully they're going to be able to maybe communicate that out and fix their issues. I'm just going to be talking to the team to get a map decision.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it definitely felt a little bit disorganized from the Shatterplay there. I feel like they definitely have the capability. Like we saw the Hunter dipping so low just through the little bit of damage they actually took. If they were able to keep that pressure up longer, I feel like they would be in a much stronger shape. But unfortunately for them, like I said, they seemed pretty disorganized. Weren't quite able to keep everything moving as smoothly as as they would have liked, and they're going to lose that first match, but we still got at least one more to go.
Yep, and they're going to be going with 12 round arena. Just going to be getting them all queued up here in 1 second. They are ready to go. Just plugging their names into the system.
Yep, so we will have this match started here momentarily.
Yep. And again, Ludix's Jungle Cleave taking the advantage here, 1-0. And if Say GG Please loses here, they will be out of the tournament. The first team eliminated without... the first team properly eliminated, I should say. Unfortunately, the WMD had to be forfeited. So this is a very high-pressure map, or sorry, high-pressure game for the Say GG Please team. They need to pull off a win here or they're out.
Yep. And of course that makes it very high pressure for the Jungle Cleave as well of Blind This All, in that if they lose this match, then they're fighting for their lives essentially. So if they lose this match, then they're this game, then they are one step away from elimination. So definitely a very, very tense match here. We'll have to see who can pull out the win.
Yeah, and again, both teams did play incredibly well as far as being able to live and put out damage. I just feel like the incarnation cooldowns weren't respected enough, so it kind of backfired on him by dispersing so late.
Yeah, for sure, and just a little bit more coordination on trying to block as much of that CC as possible, because even with the late dispersion, if his healer hadn't been basically screwed over at that point, he would have still been able to come out of that alive. So we're going to be starting here in just a second. There we go. Jungle Cleave just going straight out of the gate here. Macrosina actually leading off. He's going to get stuck in a Frost Nova and a Deep Freeze, but going to go ahead and sit through that. Actually pops the Hand of Freedom to be able to get out of line of sight there. I kind of like that choice, just to make sure that he can actually get over to where he wants to be.
An interesting Wyvern Sting onto Rainy there. Trees was able to dispel it, but Ludic's taking a lot of damage. He's really pushed in here. He's going to have to deterrence. Macrosina was in a clone. The sacrifice comes out though, but he's silenced. He's going to Aura Mastery that. He has to deter again. 100,000 HP. Is he going to get it off? A full poly, but he did sack it. It's overlapped with clone, so the sack's not going to break it. A Deep Freeze. He's going to trick. He's going to deterrence at 90,000 HP. The poly is going to be ending here shortly. The second deterrence is blown, so Ludix is completely out of cooldowns. Macrosina has to bubble the fear. Ludix is in so much trouble here, but Macrosina able to pick him up with that bubble and Divine Favor. Fritorous is now going to trinket crowd control, pop that Incarnation himself, do a lot of damage onto Wizardo, 100,000 HP. Rainy blocking offensively, 20 HP. Is he going to live here? Trees is just barely able to keep him alive, 150,000 HP. Heart of the Wild was blown. Both teams just taking an incredible amount of damage.
Wow, yeah, just barely staying alive there. I feel like it's a much stronger opener out of Say GG Please this time. And now that Ludix has used both of those deterrences, they're in a much stronger place. As long as they can keep Wizardo stable, which looks like they've now stabilized him, they're going to go on to Ludix super hard right now. He's dipping down below 100,000 health. It looks like he might just die right here, and there he goes. Ludix falling to that damage from Say GG Please.
Yeah, so the Shatter play definitely finding their target. And doing a lot more burst than was expected and landing a lot more CC. Definitely improving the play, I think, overall and showing that they can win. So they're not out of the tournament yet. We're going to be moving into the third and final round to decide which one of these teams is going to be moving forward in the loser's bracket and which team is unfortunately going to be going home.
Yeah, definitely a tense moment now for both of these teams. The Jungle Cleave Blind This All does have a little bit of an advantage in that they get to pick the map. So hopefully they can find a choice that they feel really comfortable with and feel like they can actually take the win on for them. But really, I'm very impressed with how Say GG Please was able to turn that around. The first match, they just looked so disorganized and all over the place. That match, they definitely played much, 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 much stronger.
Yeah, definitely improved overall. But again, a lot of damage coming out from the Jungle Cleave still. Sorry, my throat's kind of dry. The Jungle Cleave doing still an incredible amount of damage to Wizardo, so it could go either way. This is not one of those matches where it's like, oh, this team's going to win for sure. You got to be on your toes. Either team just going, yep, you're dead.
Yeah,
oh,
for sure.
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Keeping up with that, definitely challenging. But we're going to be jumping into the third and final match of the series on Dalaran Arena. An interesting choice by the Jungle Cleave. I feel like close quarters might not be the best for them, just because it's going to mean Macrosina is eating every fear. If they decide to pull back to the boxes, they're all clumped. They don't have a Tremor Totem. so every fear sticks. So
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like maybe their thinking is it'll be easier for Fritteris to stay on top of people, but I mean, he's a Feral Druid. He's already really hard to peel anyway. So it's definitely an odd choice, I think. But we'll have to see how well it works out for them. I agree with you. It's very, very concerning for Macrosina as the Paladin healer to be able to stay out of those fears and out of any other CCs that are available to just make sure that he can actually heal his team.
yeah, and we're going to be starting here very shortly. 3, 2, 1 on Dalaran Arena. The final match for both of these teams. Whichever team wins will move on. Whichever team loses will be eliminated. But again, Wizardo is the target of choice. That Black Arrow coming out, the pounce on him as well. He's going to be taking a lot of damage just from the get-go. A scatter shot onto trees. Will he land the trap? He's not able to land the trap, so he's going to use that Wyvern Sting, choosing to trinket immediately to save Wizardo here. He's taking an incredible amount of damage. Nice polys onto Ludix. But Macrosina actually already choosing to bubble. Very early bubble by him just to make sure that Ludix is okay. Nice counterspell onto Furtis' clone, and then he gets put into a clone himself. Ludix getting that freedom, but a half poly on the Macrosina. Ludix can be in trouble here. Wizardo is going to be pushing in here, I believe, for a fear very shortly. But no, he's just going to be staying on the box. The scatter shot onto trees. Will the trap land? I believe it will. Full trap onto trees. He has no trinket available. Wizardo in a lot of trouble. But as I say that, Ludix dipping incredibly low. He's going to get put into the polymorph there. Rainey not necessarily thinking that Wizardo is okay there. But a Wyvern Sting and clone overlapped onto trees, unfortunately. But Wizardo's just taking so much damage.
Yeah, he's definitely in a scary spot right now. I feel like they can maintain for now. And I'm wondering if maybe that choice. Oh, excuse me. Never mind. Ludix in a deep freeze. He's gonna get out of that. It looks like it was dispelled. He's gonna get out of that and try to recover a little bit here. Wizardo taking a bunch of damage. There's that Ring of Frost. He's gonna be able to get away from that. Get back out of line of sight over here.
Yeah.
So things are starting to stabilize again.
Silence on the Macrosina or Mastery is not available. He's going to have to sit that. Ludix is taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to deterrence. Good deterrence by him, but an NS clone out of trees. Macrosina is going to have to sit that as well. The deterrence is over. Ludix is in trouble. Nice CS onto Furtis' clone once again. A deep freeze onto Ludix. I'm not sure if Pet Sack is available. He's taking an incredible amount of damage. He's going to have to deter once again. The fear is ending, but a full polymorph is landed. Ludix is done here. There's no way unless Furtis has some amazing peeling. And yeah, I believe he's going to go down here unless that's a feigned death.
No, that's.
I don't believe it is.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually dead. Yeah, it was weird. His deterrence went up for like half a second. I don't know if he uses like a Cancelora macro for that to be able to attack again, but it almost looked like he like accidentally canceled his deterrence way earlier than he should have before he was actually safe. So that was a little bit weird, but still, SageGG Please is going to be able to take Blind This All out 2-1.
Yep. And even though losing the first game quite quickly, unfortunately, they're able to overcome that and persevere and win and continue in the tournament. And unfortunately, that means for Blind This All that they are out of the tournament. So, I mean, congratulations to them to qualify from the preliminary tournament. I believe they placed second in that, so they're obviously all capable players. They played exceptionally well, but unfortunately, someone has to lose, and it's going to be them in this situation. But we're going to be continuing on with the tournament, I believe, unless we're going to be saving some games for tomorrow. I'm not sure the decision on that yet. I'm just trying to figure that out.
I believe we are done for tonight, unless that's changed. I'm just going to look back over the brackets again real quick just to give a rundown about where we are now in the tournament. Round 1, Welcome to EU takes out SageGG Please 2-0. Move on to face Waiting for Dampening, who took out Blind This All 2-0. Meanwhile, Blue Laguna went up 2-0 against Helinka Plays Lock Shaman, and Hacks and Cleave went 2-0 against Last WMD. And there's a lot of 2-0s, but they were a lot of really, really close 2-0s there. I felt like any of those could have been a 2-1 or even the other way around in those individual matches. Looking at round 2 in the winners bracket, Welcome to EU was unfortunately knocked to the losers bracket by Waiting for Dampening 2-1. They did manage to take one game but Waiting for Dampening with that just crazy burst on their opener did just incredibly well there, and was able to take 2 games in a hurry. And then Blue Laguna went 2-0 against Hacks and Cleave, again just with the crazy pressure that Blue Laguna has been putting out all day up into the semifinals.
Yeah, and as I'm getting clarification here, that was the last series for the day. So this is where we're going to be letting off Blue Laguna securing their spot in the grand finals, and tomorrow we're going to be sifting our way through the losers bracket to decide the competition for them. But overall, amazing games today. I had an amazing time commentating alongside you, Laura. I hope you had fun. Um,
Absolutely.
and I guess if you want to finish this off for us, I'd appreciate it. My voice is dying. But thank you.
All right. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of shouting. You should rest up for a second. It's definitely been an intense day. So thanks everybody so much for tuning in for today. We will be back tomorrow at 1800 CET, which is 9 a.m. Pacific time. And there are various tools on the internets that you can use to find out exactly when that is in your time zone. We will be back tomorrow with the remaining games. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep. Have a good day, guys.